Hi, Jim Rotz again, your old man outdoors. Now, I don't have a problem hiking in the winter, but between the pandemic and the season, I've got no long hikes planned right now. So I thought I'd spend the day digging into the old photo file and looking at, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. Oh yeah, the long trail. We're gonna look at that. Now that I'm done with my senior moment, the long trail was my third long backpacking trip after completing the Colorado Trail and the John Muir Trail. Once I did those two, I had to complete my personal junior version of the Triple Crown with the long trail, which is considered to be the inspiration of the Appalachian Trail. Vermont's footpath through the wilderness shares 104 of its 273 miles with the AT and crosses the very spot where the AT was conceived. It was also the toughest hike of the three. The Long Trail is the oldest distance hiking trail in America and running the length of the state of Vermont. This 273-mile route is classic Eastern Mountains. Much of the time is spent, as they describe the AT, walking through a green tunnel. There are no permits required to hike the trail. Camping is generally free, although some specific sites have caretakers and fees in season. Because the trail runs the very spine of Vermont's Green Mountains, there are a surprising number of big views though. Besides the bare peaks of Camel's Hump and Mount Mansfield, several other mountains that are crossed are also ski resorts in the winter. And these ski resorts, such as here at Mount Bromley, reveal more scenery than typically found on other eastern mountains in the AT. Some of the mountains give great views from the fire towers at the peak. One such spot is Stratton Mountain. It was on this mountain that Benton McKay conceived of the idea of the Appalachian Trail. The southern 100 miles or so of the trail are perfect if you're looking for an AT type experience. In fact, for that stretch, the trail is shared with the AT. There are numerous shelters, over 60 in total. Certain times of the year, they can be a little crowded. But each shelter includes a privy, some of which are quite nice, and there's typically a nearby source of water. There's also plenty of trail magic along this stretch and a very helpful atmosphere in the communities surrounding the trail. You can easily get rides to town or even walk to places like Inn on the Long Trail, where I had mailed a package to myself and took a break from freeze-dried food. Once north of the split from the AT though, things change significantly. Though some of the shelters do get a fourth side, the crowds disappear and the hiking gets much more rugged. Looking back, both the Colorado Trail and the John Muir Trail were designed with pack animals in mind. The Long Trail was not. Many places I said to myself, you have got to be kidding. Any steeper and you'd need rungs in the rock. And there were places where I found myself climbing ladders or metal rungs drilled into the rock walls. In fact, one spot I had to lower myself down a rope to get to a ladder. All three of these trails have phone apps that keep you on the trail and show elevation. Only the Long Trail had elevation changes like this. At the time, it seemed actually to be as steep as it looks on the phone. While the Green Mountains aren't nearly as high as the Rockies or the Sierras, they are high enough to slant the weather towards the wet side though. There may be times when the trail seems more suited to amphibians than humans. Yes, and the famous vermud is a real thing. Do not underestimate the difficulty of this trail. However, if you're looking for a new level of challenge, the Long Trail may be for you. There is plenty of rewarding scenery, like Sterling Pond or this view from the tower at Mount Belvedere, and you get to walk to Canada. But don't forget, it is quite the challenge. The Green Mountain Club website is a great place to start further research on the trail. They sell a guide and a map, both of which are pretty helpful. Now, if you want a more complete version of my hike, I have written a short book on the subject. Not ironically, it's titled A Short Book on the Long Trail. It's available at Amazon in both paperback and a digital version. As always, if you like this video, be sure and hit the subscribe button. In the meantime, take care and keep hiking.